So way back in January, while walking around the CES show in Las Vegas with my beautiful wife, I said this. Okay, I found the next affiliate partnership we need. And that led to an Instagram message from this guy. His name is Sam. Now Sam has a business partner named Sam Pretty, which is pronounced like Sam, but with pretty at the end, and that makes sense. So Sam and Sam Pretty, they created a company called Navier Boats. Navier Boats makes this. And they invited my family and I to come down and try out their boat for ourselves. And at first I was like, you know, I really appreciate your offer and all, but my wife gets super motion sickness super easy, so going out on a super fancy boat on the always rough and choppy San Francisco Bay, it's probably not gonna end well for any of us. And then Sam said, no, you see, Sam Pretty is a super genius MIT graduate robotics engineer and quite literal NASA rocket scientist who designed an intelligent, automated flight control system that makes that boat fly in a super smooth, straight and level line with no rolling, no rocking back and forth, no bouncing up and down, no matter what the waves are doing underneath it. So bring your wife down, she's gonna love it. So we all loaded up in the RV, we took a drive down the road. We came down here to try it out. That sounds super weird, but the intro of the video will lead into that. Now here's the ultimate test of how smooth this boat is. My wife here, super motion sickness. So we're gonna head out across the bay and see if this thing is really as smooth as they say.
Sounds good.
He seems pretty confident. All right. This thing is fancy.
Yeah, America's first all-electric flying boat. You want to go first?
Yeah. Go for it.
You'll both get to go.
Go.
It's that easy.
Drive my car on the road.
This is even easier.
just turn before you get to the shore.
Yeah. He's a boater. He understands. Boats, shore, not great. So take those two throttles over there. And just click them forward. Just one click, you'll feel them go into gear. There you go. And then start going a little bit. Advance it a little bit. Push it forward, boat. There you go. And then kind of turn left, so we're just going away from shore. There you go. And then once you have a line that you like, maybe aim right towards the bridge over there. Yeah, the wind's picking up, so there's some good shot build here. So then yeah, you can straighten out there, and then perfect. And then just slowly accelerate both those throttles to all the way down. There you go. And then just keep it straight. So straight. Yeah.
The opposite way. Sorry.
Perfect. There you go. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, right to the city for dinner. So then push them all the way down a little more. So you go all the way. Yeah. Keep going. Perfect. And your speed's right here. You see it says 8.5, 9 knots. So once you hit 16, that's the magic number, and it'll pop right up. Feel right there. Just get more. And then perfect. And you're flying. Woo! Feel yourself settle down, and there you go. Flying above the waves. You're almost 3.5, 3 feet up there, 2.5 feet. But you go to the right, and you kind of do a nice quick throw to the right, and you feel it really come over. There you go. You're a real fighter pilot.
So what do you think of it?
Love it.
So do you hear that? Pre-orders in March?
Deliveries in March.
Deliveries in March. Pre-orders right now?
Yeah.
So place your order.
But I heard if you want to go try out the boat, you can go to all the locations up there. Gonna be doing test
You see the
drives.
salesman kick in all of a sudden.
That. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Lake Tahoe's next.
Yeah.
I might have to make a detour.
Pulling back. Perfect. Sit down. And you're a normal boat again.
A normal, noisy, bouncy, rough boat.
Yeah.
Bouncy boat, exactly. Cool.
Awesome. Thank Thank you.
Good stuff. Really rooting normal
So
boats.
fun.
So now we're gonna watch the motors as it goes up into like flying mode from back here.
If you look at Browns, we're flying over chop right now, and
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
Do you feel not a single one of those bumps? It's just like magic carpet ride.
Yeah, exactly.
And then behind us, there's no wake of any kind because we're not in the water, other than just the little wings.
Yeah, totally.
And that removes all the drag,
Yep.
which is why electric actually works.
Yeah, 90% more efficient. Yes, 100% electric. And this is where you get on two very different sides of the coin here. Some people absolutely love electric, think it's the way of the future. Some people absolutely hate it, think it should go away forever. And to get into why those two sides are actually not as far apart as people think, we got to get super nerdy and super scientific here. So buckle up your big brain hats and let's get into it. Now the actual electric motor here is a wonderful thing. Anyone who says that an internal combustion engine is a better source of propulsion or better source of making movement than electric motor is just flat out wrong. An electric motor creates 100% of its torque and horsepower at any RPM, has a massive RPM range, is an incredibly simple item with really only one moving part, easy to maintain, and very small for the size of power that it makes. An internal combustion engine, exactly the opposite of all of those things. So as far as actually creating movement, electric wins hands down. It's powering that electric motor that is the big controversy. And this is where efficiency comes into play, because you have to power that electric motor somehow, and that power has to come from somewhere. And if that electric motor is propelling a vehicle that goes and moves around, obviously batteries are where that power has to come from. So naturally, the more efficient that electric motor and propulsion system is, the more effective those batteries are, and the more they start to make sense. So since in this case we're talking about a boat, we're going to move over here to our super scientific hydrodynamic boat water testing laboratory and see why in a boat application electric is a horrible, terrible, inefficient, horrible choice that no matter how many times it's been tried over the years, always fails. Since I don't have a toy boat, we're going to use this unicorn. Now water is an incredibly dense substance. For one, that is why things float on it. But for two, it makes things very inefficient to move through, because for a boat to travel through the water, all of the water in front of it, for its volume that is in the water, has to be moved out of the way. Water doesn't compress, it won't squeeze to the side, it has to be moved. So you can see, as our boat goes through here by my very dirty pool, that the water in front moves out of the way. So, depending on how much volume of water your boat displaces, that's how much water you have to continually move to propel your boat. Very labor intensive, and therefore uses a lot of power to move through the water, and therefore a terrible choice for electric. But that water density that makes it so hard to push a boat through is also why a propeller is such an effective tool in the water, and why propellers can be such a small size compared to the size of the ship that they're pushing. I know what you're thinking. Casey, you're kind of arguing against the boat that you're saying is so great. What gives? Well, remember, this is a flying boat. So now let's look at all those same theories, but in the air. Now, I'm sorry guys, but I don't have an airplane to show you how air works. But unlike water, air is a very thin substance, which makes it easy for stuff to go through. It is also why stuff just falls right through it. Now imagine our unicorn is an airplane.
there is very, very little resistance to move this unicorn through the air. So if this was an airplane and there's a propeller on the front of it, you notice the propeller on a unicorn airplane is much, much bigger in relation to the size of the plane than the propeller would be on our unicorn boat. That is because the super thin air takes a whole lot more movement from that propeller to create the thrust to move the unicorn airplane through it. Are you getting where I'm going with this yet? Super dense, lots of resistance, but very effective on propulsion. Super thin, no resistance, horrible effectiveness on propulsion. If you can get the boat out of the water and lose all of that water resistance while keeping the propellers in the water, gaining all of that super effective propulsion, you're onto something. Now let's also go back to where I said electric makes 100% of its torque and horsepower at all RPMs. So that electric motor, with its full power at 0 RPM, is very good at doing things like applying a big rush of power from a stop to get that flying boat up out of the water onto its foils and up to 20-25 knots its cruising speed, and then backing down its power consumption to a very small percentage of what's available to it, therefore making the batteries last a very long time because it's using almost no effort to maintain that flight. And that is why our unicorn can cruise up to 100 miles on just 2 very small battery packs that keep the total weight of the whole boat down to just 5,000 pounds. I guessed way higher. So you said electric, batteries are heavy, but the battery packs are so small because the way the motor works is so efficient that it only weighs 5,000 pounds. Super easy, tow it with a half-ton pickup, no problem at all. Because we're heading like straight into the chop now.
Yeah.
And there's nothing.
Yeah.
And then, I know you told me earlier, but since the camera's on now,
oh yeah,
what's the range?
75 nautical miles for this boat.
What's that in people who don't understand
86.
nauticals? 86?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have a version that goes above 100 coming out soon.
So you have like a longer range one?
Yeah, exactly.
And could it charge off of, would it be 220 to charge?
We can charge off anything. It just charges faster off 220, 30 amp, 50 amp, and you can fast charge in an hour or two.
In an hour?
Yeah.
Is that off like a normal like
3-phase charger, like a 150 kilowatt charger. You know, when you run downwind too, everything just gets so quiet. Because now we're going down, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how much horsepower is it taking to just maintain this flying speed? Once we're out of the water and going?
35 horsepower.
35?
Total.
And what would it take to push a boat of this size in the water at this speed at 23 knots?
200 horsepower.
200?
Yeah.
Slightly more efficient?
Slightly more.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is your flight control screen here.
Flight control.
So this tells us how high we are off the water. So it's 2.5 feet above the water right now. We can go up to 4 feet. Engine RPMs, that's how fast we're going. What our heading is.
You can adjust height off the water depending on the wave size?
Yeah. So I can go up to 4 feet if I wanted to.
And it will do that at the same speed?
Yeah, it does at any speed. Yeah. So we have ultrasonic sensors that point down and they update at 50 times per second to tell you how high off the water you are.
And will it read the waves and adjust?
Yeah.
So if the waves start getting bigger, it will lift itself?
Yeah. If you can put it in that mode, so that's like comfort mode.
Yeah.
Or you can go into sport mode or eco mode, so. Yeah.
It's just so smooth, like these are getting bigger over here.
Yeah.
And there's still just nothing.
Yeah. Kind of forget.
Yeah.
Make sure you have the passenger. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I had one guy who was like, oh, just play back and go straight in reverse. Like, just destroys the gearbox. But no, that was perfect. Yeah, so
now we're in.
It's a reminder. I mean, yeah, it's picking up actually the chop. You
Yeah.
can see we're bumping around here.
Okay. So, Miss Seasick,
Didn't feel a thing?
you fine still?
Yeah.
Because even driving the RV down the highway, you get,
That's why I ride up front.
and this is okay.
Yeah. It's great.
My first mission tour, like go down a boat out on the bay, she's
Yeah.
like, nope.
Yeah.
I'm like, it flies, it's smooth. She's
Yeah.
like, nope.
Totally.
What do you think now?
I need one.
Okay, sure. Does it go into docking mode again?
Oh, I can.
So here's the cool part, docking mode. Watch what the motors do right here. And now with the two motors at opposing angles like that, the boat can crab sideways, forward, back, and spin around, so you can get into the dock at every weird different way of moving you need to move. It's waving.
It's waving. All of the joystick. So you see how no boat can do that.
Yeah, he's going sideways into the wind.
Yeah. So he's walking right towards us, which is pretty cool.
And then all the legs are retracted. They're probably not called legs, are they?
Foils.
Foils. So the motors are moving in and out from each other. So this here is where it all began. This is number one. This still works, right? Like this is running,
Fully
operates. So you see it's the same thing, it's got one foil on the back. And this is what's under the water on that big boat, just that leg goes down. So the only drag you have is that narrow little profile and this here, and that's what lifts out of the water. And then this right here is your aileron, goes up and down to adjust the height. Please tell me this is really remote control.
It is remote control.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It used to have a steering wheel, and then we borrowed it for another project. So it is truly a remote control boat.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So on the rear ones, these are controlled, the ailerons are controlled separately. That's how you can get it to bank.
This is the exact same way the big boat's set up, where these ailerons move here at 50 times per second, like that. And that's what controls the roll pitch.
And that's how you get it to roll.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can do your pitch up and down.
The front one has, so the nose, the aileron on the nose up and down, and the back is the differential as well as the raising and lowering.
And this was number one, proof concept, all of that electric.
Totally. It foils, flies, it still does, it's fun. This is really a fun boat. It's super cool.
This thing is cool. This is what makes it though. Here's the foil, and that's all the drag you have in the water, and that is why these things are so efficient, is because you remove all of this drag. You're not trying to push this through the water. You just have that little profile slicing right through it. And the idea with these, so you have the custom ones for like people to have as their own boat, and then water taxis.
Yeah, so fully autonomous electric hydrofoil water taxis.
So these will be in the bay here,
all over the country.
up in Seattle.
Yeah, exactly. And we're doing this road trip. We're going Seattle, Vancouver, Manhattan, Boston, DC, and Florida. So if anybody's in any of those places and wants to check us out and come up for a demo ride.
I'll put a link to there. Is it on your website, all the dates?
Yeah.
That'll be down there so you can see like all the dates.
Perfect.
And you can go test one out and try it out.
Yeah. Thanks.
So now back to that whole like affiliate partnership thing I mentioned back at the beginning of the video. Pre-orders are available right now. The link to their website will be down below. You'll find a bunch more information and stuff like that. The boats are being built right now, the production versions, with the deliveries on track to hit their March 2024 deadline, so about 6 months away. There actually is no affiliate partnership, but still tell them you heard about it from me, because that would just be super cool, and then maybe they'll let me ride on the boat again. So big thank you to everyone there at Navier Boats. It's a very cool product. The quality is just top of the line. The technology in it is very impressive. And my wife didn't get seasick and could enjoy going out on the boat, which is the best part. So big thanks to them for bringing us down. Thank you guys for watching this video. This was a fun one to take the family down to and do something a little different. And we will see you guys on the next one.